Hello.
Hey, everybody.
Surprise. Welcome to this week's live stream AMA. Luke and I are obviously together this week, which is really fun, always fun. Today's AMA is going to be a little bit more chill. We were just talking behind the scenes with some team members also, like, there's so many things in the works right now. And we're like, can we demo this? Can we talk about this? And it's just like, there's some tweaking, there's some changes, like nothing is 100% ready for us to demo yet. So we're just sitting here like wanting to explode, if we're being totally honest. So let's focus on questions, I think, and then maybe next week we'll be able to demo like a bunch of stuff, which will be really, really fun.
Yeah, we can go into some of the higher level stuff too when it comes to like tokens and like where Web3 gaming is at, all of that. Right now is a really interesting time for Web3 gaming. I thought the sentiment of Web3 gaming bottomed out 3 months ago, or like in February, but I think it's getting worse across the industry right now, which is not good. Like we've seen some recent token launches that have really disappointed some people. This is kind of in line with what we've been saying for the last like 6 months too. Like we're making a bunch of changes to tokenomics, as you guys have been following along, right? Like staking was the first big thing, but we're not done making changes. Like for example, we talked about a few things like the VPixel token, right? And some news on that, for example, is that's actually pretty close to getting into the game finally. If you were following the contracts on chain, you'll see that we've actually upgraded some contracts already. I think the VPixel token actually might be on chain already as well. And you'll start to see that actually come into the game pretty soon too. So VPixel is one of those things that is actually going to change the way that the token works quite a bit, right? We've talked about it a few times. We're really excited about what it unlocks and what it does for like the token fundamentals. And it's going to be combined with a few other changes to the staking contracts also. Like one of the changes coming into the staking contracts, which you guys won't really see the effect of it yet, but it'll start to make a ton of sense soon, is these staking contracts that you guys are doing right now are about to support multi-token rewards. And we can talk about like a little bit how we view the token in the long run too, like why we think that some tokens in Web3 are going not so well, basically. what we're doing to kind of change some of these things also, and how we view tokens in the long run as well too. If you guys have been following Pixels for a long time, I love talking about tokens and tokenomics.
Really?
Yeah, it's some of
Where's
you
the whiteboard?
some of you don't like it. Some of you just want to know when we're like going to be updating the game and stuff like that. And there are a lot of updates coming to the game still too. Like the one thing I can say is at Pixels, we're still committed to seeing core Pixels all the way through. We're going to be working on Chapter 3 pretty soon. It's already in pre-production right now. And we're going to start sharing more and more about Chapter 3 with you guys. So one of the things that we're actually going to start to, we're talking about it right now is like how much we want to build Chapter 3 in public. And this is maybe a conversation that we can start to have with you guys. So if you guys have been following Pixels for a long time, you know that when you build in public, sometimes things change, right? So we have a good idea of what Chapter 3 is going to look like right now. And what we might do, we're still going to debate like how far we want to go with this to start like really letting you guys dig into some of the design of Chapter 3, right? But if we do that, you also have to kind of give us some grace if things change. Now, the good part about building in public is we can get feedback earlier in the life cycle of building it and actually know if something's going to work, or you guys can maybe like poke some holes into the design quicker. That way we don't spend like 4 months building it and then we realize, oh, we didn't think about this thing quite, or we're missing some of this. So yeah, that's some of the conversation that we need to have. So if we do go this build in public route, we kind of want to bring back like early Pixels vibes with it, where you guys also have to be on the same page with us. If we, say we're going to do something, it could change, and we'll also like fill you in week on week on why it might change, why this thing that we were originally thinking maybe wasn't true, and we're going to iterate a lot too. So we're bringing back a lot of that ethos to early Pixels. We're working with some of the people on the team lately, in person and like some other areas too. The energy on the team is really good. We're all really excited about what we can do, right? And we'll give some more details on what exactly that looks like. We're just kind of deciding right now how much we like build in public here too. Like there's a whole bunch of different things that we could do, right? Like we could, and I don't think we should do this one because it just makes the dev process a lot harder. Is like Pendeco said, we could make a third server for people to test it. That might be going like a little too far in building in public, is that there's sometimes when you do something like that where it just like makes the whole build process a lot slower, where it's like, we're breaking things and we don't want to like show everything to everybody. But we're kind of thinking about a lot of this stuff right now. So stay tuned on that. Give us some feedback on like what you guys think is the right thing. If you guys are also okay if we start to show you guys some things, but things also change, like we need that like back and forth conversation there too. And then we can also give some other updates on like the state of everything too. So like we said, there's gonna be some big tokenomics changes coming soon. vPixel, it's on chain already. We're getting it audited now. Somebody asked somebody asked a question on it too.
This one, right?
Yeah. May I ask the token security with regard to staking? So staking is fully on chain. It's funny because somebody made a post the other day being like, why isn't the staking UX like fully on chain? No, the staking system is fully on chain, completely 100% fully on chain. And with that, we get like a couple of audits on the staking system too. So you can go and like check the code yourself if you really wanted to. We also have a bounty program that we use. We also have like auditors that come in and take a look at it, right? Yeah. So
I haven't seen this value today. It's crazy.
Yeah. There's a good amount of Pixel locked into the staking contract right now. It's at the point where we need to take it very seriously. We always have been from the very beginning, right? We haven't suffered any major hacks at Pixels because we've been very diligent with all of that. We normally work on like a couple of different angles when it comes to security. We use traditional auditors. We have like bug bounty programs that are run by third parties and they're updated and maintained. And then we also hire pen testers as well. So we basically have groups like go and try to break every single part of the game every single week on Pixels. So that's why we've been pretty safe from major attacks ever since then. And that's like probably the most important thing when we're dealing with fully on-chain systems. So that's the idea. So again, just to reiterate, there's going to be a couple changes coming to the staking contract, and we're upgrading the current contract too. So what we didn't want to do was, this is kind of like Pixel Staking V2 that's going to be coming out. And there's big changes to the contract. The biggest change you're going to see is 1, support for vPixel in the staking contracts, and then 2, support for multiple currencies as rewards. So what that's going to allow us to do is we're not we're going to be able to give other tokens besides just Pixel to stakers. And, that'll be a slow transition to get there. But that's kind of some of the thesis that we have going on with tokens too. So I can kind of explain to you what we view for the Pixel token in the long term. I made a somewhat controversial tweet the other day. If you want to pull that up, I think you did, Heidi.
Yeah. This one.
So yeah, I sometimes I make tweets and I know they're just a little controversial, and this is one of those things. But here's one mistake I think we're seeing a lot inside of Web3 gaming right now. A lot of teams get very caught up in token utility, which is really important, but they kind of view token utility and revenue differently, right? Like I think NFT is a really good example when we talk about utility, right? Like when people ask for utility, what are they asking for? Truthfully, I think people in Web3 are probably going to do better if they narrow down the focus of their utility to just like one or two things in the long run, right? And really, what we view the Pixel token as in the long run is likely we're going to transition to a stake only token, right? So really, the only thing that you're really going to be able to do with normal Pixel in the long run is stake it, and that's a big change, right? So then, what happens to Pixel if you can only stake it? Like, what do you get in terms of playing the game? What do we do for rewards? Well, that means we're going to slowly also start to transition rewards to USDC in the long run too. Now, in the early stages before the games in the ecosystem are at a reward or a return on reward spend or RORs of over 1, we'll still give out Pixel. Pixel is actually really useful as a tool to get us to that goal of building out sustainable play to earn games, right? And until we're fully there across the ecosystem, Pixel is a really big advantage for us when we go and compete against Web 2 games, right? We're able to give out a token. We do inflate the token supply a little bit, but that was kind of, already shown. And that was, everybody knows what the emissions of the token are going to be from the ecosystem. And, we're using that to bootstrap towards a goal, right? And that goal is getting return on reward spend over 1, basically building sustainable Web3 games. And when we have that return on reward spend over 1, that's a really, really big meta unlock for the Pixel token, because that means that we can also start to give out USDC rewards. That means return on reward spend, just so that you guys are aware again, is a measurement of when you give $1 in rewards, how much revenue does the ecosystem get back, right? So when we get the return on reward spend over 1, what we can start to do is give out $1 of USDC rewards, and the ecosystem gets back $1.10, $1.20. And we can start scaling it up that way, right? So we're not burning money by giving rewards, so it's actually leading to ecosystem growth. Now, the amazing thing is there's games in the ecosystem that are actually like getting there now, and there's even games that have done this over the last week. So if you guys have been following, the 2 games in the Pixel ecosystem staking system right now that are like the most bullish when it comes to return on reward spend are Pixel Dungeons and Sleepygachi. Sleepygachi actually had a return on reward spend.
I think 1.3.
Yeah, I think 1.3
the last
week.
I was so hyped about that. I tweeted about it. I'll find the tweet.
Yeah. So that's starting to get really interesting. Now the question is, how long are they going to be able to keep that up? The real test is basically, can you keep return on reward spend over the course of weeks, months, and indefinitely, right? And it's super bullish because it shows that you can do that inside of Web3 gaming. Pixel Dungeons has also been getting there week on week too. If you go and take a look at their stats, you'll start to see that too. The other thing that'll be coming in these staking ecosystem changes is you're actually going to start to see transparency and visibility into the return on reward spend of each game in the staking ecosystem. So
You're not sharing the screen right now.
I know. It's not in here yet. But okay, I'll show you guys what it's going to look like, because this will come out live.
This is my laptop.
In the next, you have to scroll in the other direction. That's throwing me off.
Use the mouse.
Okay. I just want to share this really quickly. So yeah, when you go to a game pretty soon, you'll be able to select the game, and you're going to start to see new info in this page of each game. What you're going to see, I shared it on my Twitter.
You have to make sure you're sharing. No.
Well, I know I'm getting the tweet up first, Heidi.
Yeah, I know, but you're not okay.
Okay, yeah, you're gonna start to see
Share this. Yeah.
yeah, you're gonna start to see charts like this on each game. So what you'll see for each game is you'll see a measurement of how many rewards they're giving out every single day and how much spend is happening inside of the game. So you'll see all of that transparency. And yeah, you'll get to start to see um, yeah, you'll get to start to see how each game is performing too.
Can we draw? Oh no, never mind. Sorry.
So yeah, if you can see this, this is a chart of two different games in the ecosystem. This is Core Pixels and this is Pixel Dungeons, right? And if you can actually look at the difference between the two games right now, you can see that Pixel Dungeons is actually performing pretty well with the return on reward spend, right? Actually, some days they actually do give more spend inside of the game than earnings, and the disparity inside of Core Pixels right now is actually quite big. Core Pixels has been it's been better historically. I think we all kind of know where Core Pixels is at right now, where I think the reason that Core Pixels is not performing as well as it has historically, and even like when I say historically, I mean on like January, February, and March, Core Pixels return on reward spend was like, 70, 80%. And now it's, probably like 30%. It's because the gameplay is getting stale. We were kind of driven with spend with live ops, which was not super popular the way that we were doing it. We basically need a new model for monetization and we need like new fresh gameplay for Core Pixels. So when we think about what we're doing here and for Core Pixels, there's basically like a bunch of priorities on making Core Pixels better. So we talk about the overall ecosystem, right? Like we talk about Pixels ecosystem, staking, all of that. That's important stuff, right? But we also have to remind ourselves too, and like, we have to assure everybody here too, Core Pixels is the flagship game of the Pixels ecosystem, right? So actually to have Core Pixels not performing as well as the other games inside the Pixels ecosystem, I think is long run not great. So what we need to do is we need to up the game quality and we need to actually make sure that Core Pixels can compete with the rest of the games in the ecosystem, because phase two of our staking ecosystem is actually going to be switching on pretty soon, where the games who are performing better will likely start getting more rewards that they can give out to their users, right? Because truthfully, when you think about from the token perspective, what's the better use of the token to give out, a million tokens to Core Pixels where their return on reward spend isn't as good, or a million of those tokens to Sleepy Gotchi where there's actually like, net benefit for the ecosystem. There's some disparity there, right? So if we want Core Pixels to actually be the best it can be, we have to make sure it competes against these other games. That's why we love the staking ecosystem. It keeps us accountable on top of things. So we can't just skate by and offer like a worse experience to people or like something that's worse for the token. We actually have to make sure that it's standing up against everything else. So, that's why we're focused on chapter 3. That's why we made changes internally. And that's why we're kind of going back to our roots and the stuff that worked well. We know that the gameplay is a little stale. We know that we need to change things up. And we're going to start to basically have like a couple different focuses for chapter 3. The main focus and objective for chapter 3 will be to add more forms of competition and basically add like, we talk about a lot of times and the gameplay. We'll go in more and more in chapter 3 next week. I'm really sorry, but like there's just a bit more planning that we want to do before we start to do this like much more build in public approach. And we're again still trying to decide like how much in public we want the design of chapter 3 to be. I personally am leaning towards having more and more be out in the public because I think it will be an advantage. I also have to make sure that we don't slow the team down by doing this too, because that's the other risk. So, the more that we put in public, the more weight and baggage there is sometimes, the more pressure it puts if we have to change some things. I think overall, it's most likely going to be good for the ecosystem.
Yeah, but you guys got to be chill. We need promising right now that if we say we're going to do something and then it doesn't happen, you got to be chill, because that's what building in public is. That's the reality of it. Not every single thing we talk about is 100% confirmed, right? So, right? Deal? Okay, I've started some stuff.
Yeah. Oh, there's also this one too. This is funny. I think
that is funny. I don't think we should talk about why, but I think it's funny. Haha. Okay. This one here. I love staking stuff, but can we please talk about Core Pixels again? Okay, so obviously we just did a little spiel on like, we really want to, but let me sit here and try not to leak too much. But here's like a very rough game plan for the next like month or so, without a lot of details, and could change. Okay, I am busting my ass to maybe possibly pull out an event quest thing for like a week and a half from now. no promises. Okay. I think Luke found out about this like an hour ago. Okay. It's
No, I
like,
knew it.
it's fresh. You did?
Yeah, I see the
When?
Slack messages.
Oh, fair. Oh, he lurks. Weird. Might happen. We'll see. And then we have the UGC Fair event, which should be coming maybe soon after that. We have another big in-game change. There's already some change in Terravilla accordingly to that. That could come after that one. And along the way, there are tons of quality of life updates, which those ones I really can't dive into yet. But like our team, I was just talking with them all. Like there's so many quality of life updates planned for the next like month and a half, I would say. Like we kind of shared with you guys, I think like last week or the week prior, that there's been some like team changes, some promotions, and these certain people are working really hard and doing some really cool stuff, and they're in it, they get it, they know it, and it's very exciting, honestly. So lots of quality of life updates on the way, along with them going hard on chapter 3. Now chapter 3 is going to take time. It's going to take time. It's going to be pretty cool. One of our team members also let us know that Gemini, like the AI, already kind of knows what we leaked about it, which is
Yeah, or maybe it's just because the
crazy.
team is typing everything into Gemini.
No. You know what they were doing?
Yeah.
They were using Gemini and ChatGPT to all come up with their own individualized bingo cards to use on this AMA. So I hope you guys are doing well. Curious to know who's winning, on top of the content creators that have their own bingo card. Yeah, our team does it too now, apparently. But they all made their own different individual ones, so there'd be a clear winner. So we'll see. Yeah. So that's kind of like the most I can share right now, but there's just so much going on.
Yeah. I will say, so somebody asked the question, can we see any major gameplay changes in chapter 3?
Yeah.
So that is necessary with chapter 3.
100%.
Like, yeah. So what I will say with chapter 3 is we're not trying to build another feature like merchant ships. We're trying to build like an entire end game loop that is actually new gameplay for the players who've been playing the game for a long time, rather than just like a small feature, right? So it's gonna be new systems. There'll be new ways to interact with the game. And then there's like a bit of debate on like how we kind of work in some of the current stuff inside the game into this new stuff too. So like some of the questions that we still have, to give you some transparency, is like, how do we work guilds in the right way and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, that's kind of stuff that we're working on right now. And that actually might be the kind of stuff that is good to surface to you guys. Because then here's why I want to build more in public with the design. I like the idea of doing that more so than like hiding some of what we're doing, because if we get you guys involved, if it doesn't go the right way, it's your guys' fault, not just ours. So, right, like that's kind of the fun part about building with community and building in public, though, right? Like we all get to kind of own like how the game develops and like what is going right and what's going wrong. So that's going to be like some of the ethos that we at least put into everything. Again, we have to decide like how hard and like how much we can share, because I don't want to slow the team down.
This is funny. I stopped doing bingo because hyper focus made me lose out. That's funny. Okay, I was just reading all of your comments. You guys are funny.
Yes. Somebody asked about pets in chapter 3. So truthfully, chapter 3, the more like the bigger focus is on resources, right? Like we still need compelling things for all of your resources to do, and we need some element of like risk, right? So in the game right now, there's not really any winners and losers in the gameplay, right? And that actually is kind of a problem. Like we actually do need competition, and we do need some people to be able to risk, win, and then maybe some people lose also. So that's the biggest and most important thing. And then the other things can come, right? So if we can solve for this, if we can make fun gameplay at the end of the game where some people win and some people lose, then everything else in the game also becomes more important, right? So, you know, resources, like any boost, any of this stuff becomes much more important inside of the game, and it makes more sense to earn it. There's other things that we can do to kind of like make other items in the game feel good to get, right? And it solves some of the chase content issues too.
Sorry, I'm just harassing people in the theater. Are we watching?
Just chatting.
Just chilling, the popcorn. No, there we go. Let's go. Okay. Let's look back here. Maybe some starred questions. Okay, we already answered a few of these here. Oh, really good question. When creator codes? They are coming tomorrow. So I kind of explained this to everyone. Well, not everyone, but a lot of you watching. Creator codes are going to function in the exact same way. You enter code for anything that you purchase in game with Pixel, you get 5% off, and a kickback goes to the creator. On the creator side, we've actually tiered them. So within the content creator program, there is different tiers of content creators depending on how much content they produce and the quality of such content and all of those things, of course, because we want to really raise up our top creators, because we really appreciate everything you guys do. It's incredible. And that includes the kickback you get. So the lower tier is 3% and the mid tier is 5%, and then top tier is 7%. So some creators will be getting less kickback and some will be getting more, which is it's just really fun, and it kind of like encourages our users or creators to push boundaries on their content. So it's a pretty exciting new program. But to the user using the code, you will still get 5% off your purchase. So don't worry about that. But they are launching tomorrow. Guild codes, those are launching as well, and they are staying at 50 plus supporters. So it's like the same to get into, same like level to get in. Okay, that's tomorrow. What else is there? Oh yeah, someone also asked like when will UGC creators get a code? So the codes, we've debated this a lot, and the best thing you can do is actually join our content creator program. And we have a content creator academy that you can work through. We will help you learn how to develop content around your UGC. Honestly, being a UGC creator, you have the best content to share. Just film yourself drawing some pixel art, or take a screenshot of the art that you've made. Like, you guys are artists. You can make like the coolest content. You don't even have to think about what you're going to share. It's like, oh, my art.
Yeah, a good example of somebody who's done that really well is Calypso, right?
Yeah, and just, yes, yeah, 100%. She's been going crazy. You guys should go and check out her page recently. She's been sharing like all of these different things. Wait, hold on. I want to quickly. Was that the one that I want to find the? How do you here? I want to find her post actually.
Yeah, no, I saw it the other day. It was really well done.
Yeah, she's got like a whole. I mean, we can show you guys what we're looking at, because we're just we're just scrolling Twitter at this point. You guys can do it with us if you guys know this creator. She's incredible. She has the most UGCs in pixels. It's crazy. I think it was like by a lot. Like I think it was like 60 or something like that. The next person was 30, and then lower. The fact that you guys have this many, but yeah, she did this whole post about she had like a system in place for getting your hands on her UGCs. Anyways, you should check it out. We're big fans, obviously. Yeah, and the UGC fair, it's gonna be pretty cool. I know it's in a few weeks. I know I've been leaking it like too early because I'm so excited about it. It's still a few weeks out, but it's gonna be really cool.
Ooh.
Okay.
Zenkick asked if we can stake vPixel. Yeah, so vPixel, again, it's coming into the game pretty soon. I was going to demo it, but I don't have my laptop with me. But basically, how it's going to work is you're going to have like 3 pixel balances, basically. You're going to have a vPixel balance, a normal pixel balance, and then one that's combined and shows you like just a normal pixel amount that has both of them together, right? So when you go to spend your pixel in the game, it will automatically take the vPixel first, right? Now, when you go to withdraw, you're going to have 2 options also. You'll be able to withdraw pixel, or you'll be able to withdraw vPixel, right? You cannot turn your pixel into vPixel, and you can't turn your vPixel into pixel, but you can withdraw vPixel with 0 fees, basically. So that you won't pay any farmer fee. You can still go and stake that pixel and earn rewards from the staked pixel.
Yeah. Okay. Someone just asked a good question about creator codes. So, why do creator codes need to like expire, basically? And the honest truth of that is that this was like a new program that we were experimenting with. We were like, okay, let's try this creator code program, and we wanted to put an end date on it just in case. right? And so the first round of creator codes, they lasted 3 months, and we saw extreme success from it. You guys loved it. We loved it. It went really well. We're like, great, we're going to run it for another 3 months. We did exactly that. And now we're at the 6-month point, and we're like, this system is awesome. Obviously, we're making a few tweaks and minor updates, but from now moving forward, we're hoping to not have any latency between the codes expiring, i.e., they won't expire in your eyes. We are going to be updating them on a monthly basis because now there is a tiering system involved. So our content creator codes, those ones will be, and our guild, I think actually, they're going to be updated in the back end once a month, but you shouldn't notice or see any difference because we're just going to, we're trying to make the program permanent.
So the reason why we're sometimes these features is, it's the build in public approach, right? So because we build in public and we like to release often and early, that means we don't always get everything right. And this is as we're building out chapter 3, like the conversation we're going to have with you guys again, where some things will probably have to change. Like we won't get everything right with chapter 3, or even like some of the early plan might change, right? So to have that kind of conversation beforehand with like features like this is important. It's just something we've learned now, right? Because we had pretty high confidence. We want to keep the creator code program, but we also didn't want to release it and then have to make a change to it if we had to adjust a fee or a split or something like that, and then have like an uproar because we said this and promised this, right? So that's why we're when we release stuff like this, we're like, okay, 3-month test at first, and we need to make changes accordingly.
This is a really good question. What percentage of purchases in game are done with a code? I don't actually have that data. Do you?
I haven't looked at it in a little bit, to be honest. We have that data. I just haven't looked at it in a minute.
Okay. There's a couple of comments here. Oh, this made me laugh. And this made me laugh because I've actually been in discussion with our dev team and our community team, our team in general, of like, what do we call it? Because some of our let us know what you guys think. Because some of our devs are saying like pixel in all caps, but I'm like, that kind of sounds like pixel, like the one you guys all know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Pixel's hilarious, but I feel like is it too niche? Like, are people going to be like, "What's Pixel?" Like,
yeah. Well, this is funny because like we've been talking. So
both Pixel, like it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, we're going to be the first implementation of app tokens out in the wild. Again, app tokens is a standard that was developed by Limit Break. I think on the conversation of like Web3 gaming and tokens and the future of all of them, I'm actually pretty confident app tokens will be like probably the Web3 gaming standard moving forward, right? You're not seeing a lot of like recent Web3 gaming launches go very well, right? And I think app tokens will solve a lot of the problems that we're seeing when it comes to farming, when it comes to like dumping, all of that kind of stuff. It's leading to just like bad token health. And yeah, there is an interesting thing where the naming convention is not very set yet. So we might set the standard by accident. I'm not sure if vPixel is actually the right name for an app token, but I do know I'm talking to a couple other founders that might be implementing them too, and they were like, wait, maybe name it something else. Because if we name it this, we might actually end up accidentally setting the app token naming standard. And I'm actually very bullish on hybrid tokens like this, basically app token and liquid token. I think it's something more of in the future. It's one of those things that we're going to do it. People will see it. It'll just be an obvious thing to do. Like play the airdrop is one of those things, right? Wow. But the difference with play the airdrop and the app token is like app token is a much more sustainable future than play the airdrop. I think the play the airdrop meta is getting a little tired for a lot of people now.
Yeah, Pixel.
Yeah, and somebody asked, I think it was Starbuck and just said, they asked if staking vPixel will still yield Pixel as a reward. Yes. So staking vPixel will count the exact same as staking normal Pixel. It's the same 1-to-1, same amount of rewards. It's not like less. It's not like anything different. So yeah. And then eventually when we move to USDC rewards for staking, it'll still yield USDC.
Yeah. I don't know. Someone's been going off about banning bots. Guys, we ban bots all the time. We actually did a huge bot sweep like 2 days ago. We do it all the time, so don't worry. But they make new ones, so that's why if you're seeing one, they're fast. I just want to share. this was back when we were talking about content creator code data. So actually, yeah, I've been working with our data team on, I don't know if it's going to be like I don't have an exact answer for you of what data will be shared, but I think their content creators might have access to some sort of dashboard in the future. And then you can always request more data from our content creator team, like Alriki and whatnot, trying to still nail in exactly what will be displayed and all of that. But yes, we have actually been working on this.
Yeah, we actually have a whole data product that'll be going live pretty soon. So that's like a separate thing that maybe you guys won't see on the front end, but you kind of will because it's going to be powering this new reward system pretty soon. So we're building what's called in like Web2 gaming an offer wall, but basically it's going to be like a new dashboard where you can earn rewards, and it's powered by this pretty cool data product that we're building out that will work for any game, Web2 or Web3 games, which is cool, right? And the whole point of this offer wall is basically bringing like the play to earn concepts to other games and having it so that other games can also plug and play into the system really easily and be able to offer rewards to their players as well and do it smartly. So the difference between this offer wall system and the task board is it's like very data driven. Like we can like target players specifically that we want to do specific actions for. So we can kind of like run mini campaigns being like, hey, we want users who have like completed this quest, and have like not spent any pixel in like a month to like do this task and get a reward, and then maybe we can come back, or we can target users who we think are about to like stop playing the game and like get them to keep coming back, right? We can do cross game rewards eventually if we want, so we can give you a reward to go and like try out Pixel Dungeons if you haven't done that. If you're a core Pixels player, and like that actually might even be like a form of revenue for the ecosystem in the long run too, where if like games or other like advertising partners want to like advertise to you, that could be like USDC that could be returned to stakers, right? So there's some cool stuff there.
I heard rumors that on July 20th, alt season is coming with impulsive pump. Interesting. Good to know. Love fortune tellers, my favorite.
Yeah. If you believe that,
it can happen.
Yeah,
Just make everyone believe it.
That's why leverage exists. If you really know.
Okay, can I play with my little brother on the same network, or will we get banned? If your little brother's a real person, human being, yes.
Yeah, if you just have one brother. If you have 100 brothers, no.
It seems unlikely, right?
But some people swear they do.
I don't. Okay, like stepbrothers, because I was about to say I feel like there's some biology in the way from having 100 brothers. Oh man. Okay, let's see. Hello. Pixels. I'm into it. Let's do it.
When someone asked when task board's skill level based, I mean, so yeah, we updated the task board recently.
It's been going well. Although, you know what? I'm going to eat my words because last time I said some people are enjoying it. Not enjoying it. Tore me to shreds. So be nice. But we have done some pretty good updates to task board, just transparently.
That change is in. What I will say is it looks like it's leaning a little top heavy now, though, too, where like the highest skilled earner or players in the game are earning like way more than they did before, and like lower levels are not earning like really much at all. There's a balance that you need to strike with this, right? So yeah.
Yeah, but like transparently, if you guys choose something that we don't like.
Yeah, we're the ones that have to live with it, right?
Yeah, not only that, there's a marketing component to this. Okay, so you're gonna make it like Barney or something like that, or like Luke's hat. Why hasn't there been like a meme coin for that yet?
Oh, someone did ask a question. Why am I always wearing a hat?
Oh yeah, I actually started.
Yeah, I mean,
why are you always wearing a hat?
I think the mullets look. I mean, it's just my hair is pretty messy right now.
Your hair is so white. You've been in the sun a lot.
Yeah. Somebody asked, when risk to earn in pixels. So that's kind of the intention with the chapter 3. Like it's not gonna be like crazy hard with risk to earn, right? Like there's different ways that you can do risk to earn. We do need elements of competition. That is really important. So like there will be people that win and there will be people that lose in chapter 3, right? So you have to make good decisions.
I like vPixel too. I think it's a good one. Let's see. When Neon Zone, I kind of leaked like a rough timeline for that earlier when I went on a little spiel.
Can I say a month?
Well, you just did, so
Well, I just
maybe.
like there is a very, very high percent chance it comes out in July.
Mhm.
Like there shouldn't be a reason that it doesn't. But
No, it was in July. Actually, it's planned for like the first week of August, maybe, which is a month from now.
Okay,
because
okay.
it's July 9th. Okay.
Okay, wait. Somebody asked a question on what the current amount of players in the game is. I just know this is a bingo thing, so I don't want to say it. That's right. Luke, how many people play the game every day? And how much have the recent pixel updates impacted the amount of people playing every day? Well,
the bot sweep obviously took out a lot.
yeah, what I will say is we're not as concerned about this number in the short to medium term because we think that we need to fix some of the fundamental problems of the game first. And the metric that we would be more concerned about right now is that return on reward spend metric over the amount of users who play the game every day, right? We think that when we start to solve the like return on reward spend side of things, then we focus on scaling the user base, right? So there's actually some element of it being a little bit easier to solve return on reward spend with less users playing every day. Um, if I say this, it's going to be because you deserve
it. You just like mess up.
But yeah, if there's basically we're focused on like making the game more fun, like increasing roars before we focus on like that number, because that's the more important thing to like fix the fundamental issues.
Hyluke is like it's giving Renesmee. If any of you get that, it's a Twilight reference. Sophia's listening; she gets it.
Sophia asked, "Is there any update on the Pets app?" Yeah, so I am actually
check that box. I'm sure it's on everyone's Pets app. Check.
Yeah, I'm really excited. So we're kind of doubling down on it. Like we see it; it looks really promising right now, and we're gonna put like a little bit more effort in to polish it even more, basically. So the idea is, if you noticed, we had like the pixelated designs that we leaked before, right? And
we leaked the upper.
Yeah, we
and iteration also past that.
Yeah, we leaked like a new like mock-up design. Now the team is actually going like building out that design, so that adds like a little bit of time to like all of the
not fully. It's been edited since you even leaked it, I think.
Yeah, well now it's about to be in this next build that we're getting on our like own devices. So yeah, it's getting there. Like I can maybe share like a video of the new UX because it's actually implemented in like test builds right now. And then yeah, the that Steven one is actually a really
this one.
Yeah. That's a good question for later. Oh, pull that one. I'll keep finishing the Pets app stuff. But yeah, basically we're doubling down on it, and we're gonna put like a lot more polish into it. So we have to debate when we do early access. There's a few changes that we might do fundamentally to the game too. Like one of the things we're debating is how we do the pet collection aspect. We actually might even change the design of the pets. Like we showed you guys the capybaras,
Don't
but
leak it yet.
I'm not going to leak what we're going to do there. But we're really going to try to take this one mass market. We're going to try to make it really, really friendly to Web 2 and then add Web 3 elements at the end of the game loop. Like I think for this particular one, I think the collection aspect of different pets is going to be really important. Mm-hmm. So there might be like a bit of a like retroactive thing that we need to do as well. But like our basic goal for this Pets app is like it looks pretty good, honestly. We actually think we can make this better than current apps in the market that are kind of like it, because these current apps in the market actually are like not very optimized. They're not like super gamified, and we put more people onto this app in like the last week or two, basically to kind of like really see this fully through. I'm pretty excited about what it'll look like. Yeah.
Okay. Um, let's see other questions here. Did you want to talk about that one?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's an interesting rabbit hole to go down. So
Oh,
yeah, there was a
get
typo in
your
this one.
whiteboard.
What's your opinion on real money gaming and degens? Is what this was supposed to say. Yeah, one thing that we've been thinking about a lot right now and like revisiting again is what is the Web3 doing inside of games, right? Like,
Yeah.
what's it actually doing? To be honest, like a lot of Web games, like the Web3 is not doing that much. To be honest, it's actually not that beneficial. Really, when you think about the things that have hit in Web3 over the last 2 or 3 years, what is it? Play to earn is one, right? Like Pixels brought play to earn. That's definitely something that was popular. I am still a huge believer in play to earn and rewarded play. Rewarded play is a concept that's also getting experimented with a lot in Web 2. Like there's this company called AdJoe. If you ever want to like do some research and look into it, that's doing, rewarded play in like Web 2 with like gift cards basically, and it's going decently well. Web 3 is actually a lot better of a format for that. The other thing is like obviously collectibles, like some trading, like that kind of works. Meme coins is another one too, right? But like that is a big question. The other thing that is potentially a benefit for some Web3 games is like a new avenue for real money gaming, right? And you're starting to see some games take more advantage of that, and like actually you're starting to see like a new genre of real money games pop up that were only possible because of Web3, mostly due to like regulation. So there's this concept of regulation arbitrage, right? And sometimes crypto is good for that because it's decentralized. It's code is law, all this kind of stuff. So yeah, that's some of the stuff we've been talking about when we talk about like the Web3 value add. What I will say is I think there's a place for real money gaming. Now, when I think about the kind of stuff that I want to be building and where we're taking this company, there's talks where it's like, oh, is real money gaming like the right spot for actually Web3 gaming? Is that like really all there is here? We don't think so. Actually, we actually think there's like more interesting things than just like building casino games. But I think risk to earn is maybe like a good middle ground of that, right? That we're starting to see in some of the Web3 games where it's not quite like real money gaming, because real money gaming can look like a bunch of things. It can look like casino, it can look like gambling, or it can look a little bit more fun and like not so crazy. It could look like social casino. It could look like social casino is like a Web 2 category that's like an online poker game where you're just like earning in-game items and you're not like making money. Or it can look like something more like Cambria, right, where it's like a mix of the both.
You know who that is?
No. Oh.
Word telepathy, is that it? Okay. You said something one time about disasters and
Oh yeah. So let me fill you. So just bring that up because this is some of the build in public stuff, right? So we were debating on a bunch of different specs for what chapter 3 would look like, and one of them was like this entry system of like weather and stuff like that. We're going with a different spec, which we'll start to reveal to you guys pretty soon. But that
yeah, I mean, he already leaked some of it last AMA. So
yeah,
ask
yeah.
Gemini.
Yeah, we probably went through like 10 or so iterations of what a chapter 3 could look like already, to be honest.
Probably more.
Yeah, maybe even more. Like I had like different people do different specs. And there's a bunch of decisions that we have to make when we think about this stuff. One is like how long it would take to build it, right? I don't want to make chapter 3 take a year. Like it actually is, I think, really important.
But it will take a while.
Yeah, but it shouldn't take a year. That's the thing.
Not a year, but it'll take months.
Yeah, I mean there is a
lots of them.
Yeah, but not too many.
Not 12.
Yeah, I mean, truthfully, like my ideal situation is we can build a full chapter 3 in less than 6 months. That would be
Yeah.
the goal, and I
Yeah.
think we can do it a little bit quicker than that even. But yeah, that token sustainability one's a good question.
I haven't said that in so long, so I don't know why it's on all your bingo cards. But anyways, go off.
I mean, these are good questions. So
yeah, because they know what we say all the time.
Yeah.
They're fake questions, but sure, go on.
Yeah, so well, I think this is actually like a really good question when it comes to like what the long term of the Pixel token looks like. So really what token sustainability looks like to me is, there's a bigger fundamental question of like, why would people want this token? Like, why would people want to hold it? And like, what's the reason to even use it? Then there's secondary parts too. Like, is the token getting, sold more than it's getting bought?
I'm so sorry. That's funny. Go on.
Is the token getting sold more than it's getting bought, right? So like one of the parts of token sustainability is also like looking at the exchange volume and like inflows, outflows to exchanges too. Like truthfully, a healthier token is probably having less of its circulating supply living on an exchange and more of it locked, right? So that's something that we think about too. And then there's also like the in-game portion of sustainability too, and that's where the roars comes in. So it was the actual game also, burning or locking more tokens than it's giving out, right? So yeah, there's like all these things together. Like, but basically, you need a reason for people to hold the token. That's really important. So, I actually am kind of a fan of like the ICM thesis, like the internet capital market thesis. I think that's probably where a lot of tokens will end up in the long run. We found like a pretty good way to do it through like this new system. It's decentralized. It's interesting, right? It's a model that we did that I know other people are looking at now, and they're probably going to like mimic and copy because it's one that makes sense. It works, right? The next thing is like how do you start to get tokens out of exchanges and locked? And like how do you create the incentives to do that? VPixel, staking, all of that is like a part of this plan. And then like you actually have to focus on like the game performance too. Roars.
Every time you say roars, it makes me think of like a lion or like a tiger. We should have like a little like like a little mascot.
Yeah.
The roars are so good this week. That's gonna be a meme. Great. Okay. Let's see here. You get it.
Yeah, I think there are a few things up there too.
This one or in here?
Will there be a new season of Spore Sports? We were debating it. I think so. One of the things, if we want to get chapter 3 out in a timely manner, we have to cut and narrow focus a little bit, right? So, we have a tendency sometimes just like try to do too much at once, and that will like kick back timelines of other stuff, right? So, Spore Sports is one of those ones where it's like it was on the table.
Yeah.
Like we thought about bringing it back, but I think it's better to get chapter 3 out sooner than delay it by adding a sports season.
Yeah. But there will still be live ops events, just probably not specifically one like sports, because that one's not a small.
It needs some changes from what it was like. Like we can't run it the same way that we did last time.
Yeah. Okay. Are there any lingering questions here that we pinned? Oh, here's the one.
I mean, we already talked about that.
No, we talked about a lot of this stuff. It's been a good AMA. Please no sports. Well, then you'll just have to rally the troops back. But anyways, I don't think it's gonna happen for a while. So I think you're good for now. Okay.
Yeah. Somebody, Leah Crypto said she opts to keep her tokens in game because of high tax again. So VPixel is coming, where if you want to take VPixel out, you don't have to pay any fee, and then you can go stake that if you want. Somebody asked when USDC payout coming for the gaming pool. So we said that with like that being long term in mind, right? So there's steps first. When we get positive return on reward spend, that will be the first step. The other thing that we could do, which is maybe interesting also, is maybe give the option to pay in USDC instead of just Pixel, and then give that USDC revenue out as rewards also. So that's a potential option. Some games in the ecosystem might do that. Like right now, the games in the ecosystem, we've been asking them.
Sorry, I just opened up Discord and I see it.
That's pretty funny. Yeah. Yeah, some of the games in the ecosystem or we've asked every game in the ecosystem actually to monetize with the Pixel token, right? And actually, do we need to do that? What if you just got USDC rewards and then the token utility was from staking, right? That actually might have a higher net effect on the token, right? Because here's the thing: if you give out Pixel rewards, people are going to sell tokens for the yield, right? So that's actually why giving out the tokens as staking rewards is maybe not the best in the long run, right? Because eventually we can maybe even just stop giving out Pixel altogether, right? And just give out USDC instead. Like truthfully, the master plan is like, can we eventually stop giving out any Pixel and just give out USDC instead, and have no new circulating supply of like Pixel coming out at all? Like that's kind of the end goal, right? And then you guys will still be happy because you're getting USDC.
I'm sorry, what? I'm not reading that out loud, but thank you, Pneumatic's girlfriend. Oh man. Okay. Is it too early to say that the new live ops will revive social gaming in Pixels? So it's a little bit more nuanced than that. Like that's doesn't make sense for what's kind of coming here. So live ops in the next few months will be heavily, if not 100% community oriented. Like it's going to be social, fun, like what we're known for kind of live ops events. Okay. It's gonna be good, some good stuff. Okay. Chapter 3 is definitely heavily social. There's going to be some social components to it. But that's like more like actually like core end game kind of stuff. So it's not exactly what you're saying. Did I explain that well enough?
Yeah. So there's like some other smaller touch features that we might add soon too. Like we have a few things that were like half finished that were like things you could add on your farm that might make the farm more engaging too. Like I kind of want the team to resume some of that.
Oh.
There's low hanging fruit.
There's not that, but there's something else that's really okay. I'll tell you in 4 minutes. That's so mean of me. I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's a good question from Why Not Again. Why Not's got a lot of good staking questions. Yeah. So why do some games in the staking pools have 1 day distribution and some 7 days? What will be the standards if we progress the beta system? Yeah, so I want to get every game down to like same day distribution. It's kind of hard for some games to do that, to be honest. Like sometimes they have monetization that's like more centered around an event, all of that. I would have, truthfully, in the long run, like the longest distribution I would want to do is 1 week. But like daily is best, and we're gonna have most games switch that if they're able to.
Okay, so there was an event opposite the post office where winners were given cows. So that was actually a beta test for our leaderboard system. We really just wanted to test the leaderboard system at like high, what's the word? Capacity? Scale. Right. So that is a bit of a leak to what you can expect from Leon's Neon Zone, because there will be constant leaderboard events happening there with some good rewards.
Oh, someone asked one new partner game. Yeah, there's a few in the pipeline. There's actually some you don't even know right now, but actually the ones.
Please tell me.
The ones in the pipeline are actually like they're really high quality. I'm excited about them. So here's one of the issues with the staking system right now. For our model to work, the games need to be generating revenue. There's not that many games in Web3 generating revenue right now, so we're kind of tapping out on the addressable market, which is a good problem to have. But also it means that we need to be thinking a little bit bigger than Web3 also, right? So, we have obviously the opportunity to go and make more games if we want to, and like make our games better and perform better as well. I even think like I know Dungeons Team kind of wants to make another game at some point too. That's kind of a leak. Yeah. But yeah, when it comes to like third-party games, like truthfully, let's be honest, like we only want to bring in games into the ecosystem right now that are like worth your guys' attention. And if you guys have any games that you think should be in here, let us know, because we'll go out and reach out to them, like really do some work there. But how many games are you excited about right now? Let's be real. Truthfully, this model that we're building out, like it'll work with Web2 games also. And I think that's something that's really interesting. We haven't really thought about what the right Web2 game would be for a partner yet. There's like all this other stuff we're focused on right now, but that's something to explore. Just like if you were to pitch this to a Web2 game, basically it's like a normal publishing model where you give them some, like you give them a prize pool basically, where they can like offer their users a prize pool. They like do some rev share back. It's a model that actually does exist inside of Web2. So that's kind of the other thing that we're thinking about too.
See, the problem is that I don't trust your questions because I feel like they're heavily bingo based. But anyways, I'm going to read it anyways. So you're welcome. Is a weekly in-game leaderboard a good end-game feature? So I just said in Leon's Neon Zone, there will be consistent leaderboards. Now the cadence I can't share yet because it's actually still being debated. May or may not be weekly or a little bit longer. But yeah, it's also not considered end game. Like we're considering this as like a nice like additional feature as opposed to an end game feature. Okay, we're at time. Damn, it always goes so fast when we're in person. Anything else you wanted to go over? It's a valid question. Right. Exactly. Oh gosh. But it's good. It's like we almost tricked you guys into asking good questions. This works, right? It works.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
Do
you want to?
There is. Why not asking a lot of good questions on staking?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the new analytics for the gaming pools will be going live in the next update. I think it's within a week, to be honest. I think it's planned for Friday. No, it's not planned for Friday because we didn't want to release it on a Friday.
Public analytics?
Yeah. So I think on Monday or Tuesday, expect it. There will. Oh, this is something we were supposed to say. Now I remembered. Thank you so much.
I'm worried.
There will be a little bit of downtime on the staking platform. Oh. It'll be like an hour to like 3 to 4 hours maybe. The actual downtime will be like about 1 hour, but then everything will have to get re-indexed. So when we do this update, we're not rugging everybody. Don't freak out. We're publicly announcing it now. We'll like also remind you guys, but there will be some downtime. There's gonna be some major upgrades to the staking contracts. They're all audited. And yeah, what it's going to allow is support for vPixel for staking and multi-token rewards. We'll also add analytics to the dashboard.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, don't worry. We'll announce that in the Pixels post and maybe even like an in-game announcement. So yeah, cool. Anything else you wanted to go over?
No, I think that's about it.
Yeah, we went through a lot. Cool. Great. Well, thank you guys. Love all the events. Yes, me too. I love the events. They're so much fun. But yeah, thank you guys all for coming out. Yeah, it's always fun when we're together. And I guess we'll see you next week. Bye, guys.
Thanks, everyone.